Okay, so we're diving into the case of Joe Metheny today. You've probably heard of him as the cannibal butcher of Baltimore.
Hmm.
We've got the case files, interview transcripts, all of it. And really, we want to get to the bottom of one thing. His most famous, most gruesome claim. Was it real?
Right. Or was it just a myth? Because the story, the legend that everyone knows is that people in Baltimore were like standing in line to eat barbecue sandwiches made from human meat.
It's an absolutely terrifying hook.
Yeah.
But before we even get to the barbecue stand, we have to look at the man himself.
Yeah.
Looking at these files, Metheny wasn't some kind of criminal mastermind. He was born in '55, and his profile is just. It's a textbook for a troubled life.
Mhm.
Abusive childhood, addiction, rage.
Exactly. He wasn't hiding in the suburbs or anything. He was living right on the fringes. By the mid-90s, he's in these trailers, these makeshift shelters in industrial South Baltimore.
And that's so crucial, right? The location. He turned those industrial wastelands into his hunting grounds.
He really did. He wasn't just grabbing people at random. The files are very clear he had a type.
A very specific demographic. We're talking sex workers, homeless people, addicts. He actually called them society's blind spots.
That phrase, it just chills you. Blind spots. It implies this predatory calculation that you wouldn't expect from his, chaotic lifestyle.
Because he knew. He knew if he targeted people living in the shadows, they'd be easy to overpower, sure, but
But they'd also be easy to erase. No one's going to file a missing persons report right away.
not for a drifter who's gone for a few days. He was counting on the system just not caring.
Precisely. He'd lure them back to his trailer with, promises of drugs or a drink. And once they were there, that was it. They were completely isolated.
And he got away with this from '94 to '96.
Yeah.
He might have kept going, too, if one of his victims hadn't managed to get away and find the police.
And that's the moment the story pivots. It goes from a pretty grim serial killer case to, well, a full-blown urban legend.
Right, because after his arrest in 1996, he doesn't just lawyer up, he talks.
Hmm.
A lot. And this is where he drops that bombshell about the roadside stand.
Oh, he was so graphic about it. He told the detectives everything, how he'd dismember the bodies, mix the flesh with pork and beef.
And then sell it to the public. He said they loved it and never had a clue.
Pure shock value. That's what he was going for.
Okay, but this is where we need to be critical. I've been through all the forensic reports in these files, and there is a huge hole in that story.
A huge hole. You'd expect some kind of physical evidence, right?
Exactly. I mean, if you're butchering human beings and cooking them, there should be traces. DNA, bone fragments, something. But the forensic teams found what?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing to prove the cannibalism story or the sale of the meat. Not a shred of physical evidence.
So why? Why confess to something so uniquely awful if it didn't actually happen?
It's marketing. It really is that simple. We see it with other killers. They inflate their body counts. They invent these grotesque details.
So you know their own legacy.
Yes. Metheny knew he was going to prison for life. He was terrified of being just another forgotten killer. So he invents this detail, this barbecue story that's so horrifying people have to remember him. He was building his own monster persona.
And, I mean, it worked. Here we are 30 years later, still talking about it. But the courts didn't fall for the hype.
Not at all. He claimed he killed 10 people, but without bodies, without forensic proof, they could only convict him of 2 murders, Martin Worth and Jason Poremski.
That's the huge gap between the legend and the reality. He got life without parole, died in prison in 2017. But if you watch those prison interviews...
It's just a void. There's nothing there. He laughs when he tells the stories. Zero remorse. He was playing that character right to the very end.
So if we strip away the cannibal myth, if we just toss out the barbecue stand story, what are we really left with?
I think we're left with something that's honestly much scarier. The barbecue story is a distraction. The reality is that a man preyed on vulnerable people for 2 years in a major city and only got caught because one woman saved herself.
It goes right back to that blind spot idea. The real horror isn't what was in the sandwiches, it's that people were vanishing from the streets, and nobody even noticed they were gone.
Exactly. And that, I think, leaves you with a really provocative question. The next time you're driving past the industrial edges of your own city, don't ask if there's a monster hiding there. Ask yourself this. If someone disappeared from that spot tonight, how long would it take for anyone to even start looking?